Hello everybody, so in today's video I'm going to explain how to estimate your software development project correctly. If you want to develop a mobile or web application, you probably question yourself, how much is going to cost me? So today I'm not going to break down the market cost for you, as it varies from plenty of factors like team size, levels of their experience, years of experience, speciality, and etc. Estimating a project is like building a house. So imagine a situation where you come to a construction worker and ask him to build you a 2-floor building, 5 rooms in it, a garage and a pool outside. So imagine how different the end results can be. So here are the two variants of how it can look like. Looks pretty different, isn't it? See the amount of uncertainty we have at this stage. The best estimation the company can give to you is a ballpark estimation. And please keep in mind that the ballpark estimation can vary, as the only things that we know at this stage is the amount of floors we need, amount of rooms we need, and the pool outside plus a garage. But you understand that these house, these are pretty different houses. If you build a house for yourself or you plan to do so, you probably heard about a document called Architectural or Constructional Specification. So what does this document give to you and to us as a software development agency? The first business part usually answers the questions of what we are developing and for whom do we develop this. In this part, we will usually ask you the following questions. So what exactly are we developing? What problem do we solve? For whom do we solve this problem? How do we do that? And is this really a problem? Moving to the second step, which is the technical one, this step ultimately answers the question of how are we going to do that. Here on this stage, we are going to outline deeply the exact functionality we're going to develop. We're going to decompose all of them, document and specify. Based on it, we will after do the prioritization of all of the functionality and determine the exact tech stack for each of them. After this stage, you will get a very important artifact, which is the software architecture. Having this artifact, you will always know how exactly your application works, with what does it connect, and how does it interact with your users, with your admin, with your managers, with other types of clients or merchants you have inside of your application. After this stage, we dive into the wireframe stage, where we visualize what we have outlined previously and allow you to visualize how your application is going to work further. On this stage, we're going to outline the mockups to visualize each of the functionality based on the scope and prioritization we did on the previous stage. And we also make sure that every piece of the functionality will follow the acceptance criteria that we also outlined during that. So now when you have this document, let's roll back to build your house requirements. So now the construction worker will know that you need the flat roof, garage on the left side, and floor-to-ceiling windows, like in these two examples. But still looks pretty different, isn't it? To fully erase the uncertainty for your final software development estimation, we need to dive into the second stage, into the UI designs part. Usually this is a separate stage where we put a final look of your application on a paper, and this one also should be based on a software specification. Usually this is a separate stage where we put a final look of your project on a paper, and it also should be based on a software specification we did previously. There we usually make a variety of concepts, around 5, for you to choose. In the end of this stage, you will get the final look of your application on your hand and also a prototype, which you can try and feel by yourself even before the actual application was developed. So you can already know how it's going to work once we finish that. That's basically the same when you have the full design plan prepared in the constructional specification. And now rolling back again, both parties are clearly understand that you want a house like that, made of stone and concrete, brick and wooden facing, and the yellow wallpapers inside. So now as you see the difference in understanding without and with software specification, now after all of that, we can finally proceed to the estimation part itself. Nowadays on the market you can see different types of the estimation processes, such as a fixed price model, time and material, and PERT estimation. So basically, what is the difference between three of them? Let's start with the fixed price. So it might look to you as a pretty confident and straightforward type of the estimation, but it still doesn't guarantee that any of the frames that are provided to you on a fixed price basis will not be violated. So in this case, you might face two possible situations. First, you will overpay for the development provided, and the second, the developers will be underpaid for the development they provide. In the first case, it's pretty obvious, you will overpay for the service you didn't get. And in the second case, the developers will be underpaid, and most likely this means that you will get a poor developed product. The second case is a time and material model, where you can get some kind of a number, but you're not connected to it finally. It still might be less, it might be higher than what you was provided with, and basically it's just payment per hour type of engagement. The best estimation type that we formulated for ourselves is called PERT estimation. Basically, we combine both of two previous types of estimation into one. Here, having the software specification and the designs in a place, we can clearly understand what exact functionality functionality and what exact app you would like to develop further, and we can calculate the amount of hours we need to develop your application. But we understand that this is the custom software development, and this might vary according to the factors that we are not in charge of. So here basically what we're doing is estimate each exact functionality and add in the potential amount of risk and show this to you. This is the most important thing. We show the risk to you initially, so you always understand how much you can pay in any of the cases. If everything would go perfect, you will pay this exact amount of money. If everything will be on average, you will face some problems, but not critical ones, you will pay this amount of money. And even if everything will go wrong, everything will be critical and slow us down, you will still know how much to expect to pay. So to sum everything up, here are the 3 things you need to ensure before starting the software development process. You need to have the software specification prepared, you need to have the clear and correct UI and UX designs, and you need to ensure that you work under the right estimation model. I hope that information provided was useful for you, and if you have any project in your mind, feel free to reach out to us, we'll be here to help. Have a nice day.